Howdy folks, today we're going to be changing the oil for the first time on our 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. We got about 10,000 kilometers on it, and I've picked up some Mobil 1 0W20 engine oil and the Fram PH4967 oil filter. So to do this oil change, aside your typical hydraulic jack, 2 jack stands, and your wheel pucks to prevent it from rolling, you're going to want these tools to do the job from start to finish. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver or an attachment for your drill. You can also use a 10mm socket to get the oil pan tray off. And then to get the oil pan plug off, you're going to need a 14mm socket. To swap the oil filter, you're going to need, what I have here at least, a universal oil filter wrench. The way I did it in the video is different, but this is going to be the easy way. Then you're going to need an oil spout to get the oil into the engine, as well as some super clean degreaser here that will keep the area nice and tidy in case you have any spillage. So we're actually going to get started by jacking up the front end of the car. And in the middle here, you can see this skirting kind of everywhere. But in the middle here, there's a little exposed piece of metal, and that's your jack point. All right, now that we've got this up in the air, let's throw our wheel discs at the back there to prevent this thing from rolling. So now we're ready to put our jack stands in place. Now, if we take a peek underneath here, you can see there's skirting everywhere. But over here, underneath the engine, there's this little area here. This is where the oil pan is, and this is where you can change your oil filter, as well as drain the oil as well. So it's really handy because they have these bits here, which actually have a star bit inside. So you can just use the star bit on a drill to loosen these up. So now that we've got this tray removed, you can see clearly here, there's the oil pan plug there, and there's the oil filter over here. So let's loosen this up and start draining the oil. All right, now we're gonna wait about 10 minutes for the oil to just stop draining completely. Then we'll remove the filter and we will replace that with the new one, and then we'll go and replace it with the new oil. All right, so we're ready to take out the oil filter. So I don't actually have an oil filter wrench. So I've seen something from YouTube. I'm just gonna try it out with some strap here and 2 wrenches. So let's see what we can do. Now we got that there, we can just try and use this to actually turn it. All right, she's getting looser. I am going to bring this oil pan catch tray closer. Okay, she's officially loose. Quite, actually. The rope and wrench trick worked. Sweet. There she is. Let's get her out. Get this last bit drained. And get this nice new oil filter on our nice new Grand Highlander, baby. Always handy to have some of these around because it does get messy. I'm gonna buy a oil filter remover, but that was kind of cool. So now we'll just get up in there, clean up the area. She's all cleaned out, very well drained. Put our new filter on. We got her right here. We got the Fram 4967 oil filter. Just throw that back on there. Now that she's in there, we'll use the little whoop-de-whoop to tighten her up, and then we'll clean up this oil off of this oil pan, and then we'll get up there and refill. So again, you just take some strap, make a little loop, put it through the hole, put it around the oil filter, just throw our little whoop-de-whoop on there. So we got her around there, twist up our little whoop-de-whoop. All right, she's good to go. All right, we're gonna tighten up this drain pan now. Put it a little bit tighter here with our standard ratchet, and then we'll torque it properly. So that should be what it is. Set your torque wrench to 30 foot-pounds of torque. Now we're just gonna wash it off with some super clean degreaser. Make sure we get all this oil out of this area before we get out of here. We'll let that sit there for a little bit, and then we'll wipe her off. All right, now that we've got this all tied up here, we've got this oil pan very, very clean. We got the oil filter in nice and tight. So we're gonna put the cover back on. So if you go into the owner's manual here of your Grand Highlander and you go to page 520. You can see here the lubrication system. If you have oil capacity, drain and refill reference. All right, so we're doing it with filter because we just swapped out that filter. We're going to be putting in 5.6 quarts or 5.3 liters, which is what we'll be going off of here in Canada. So let's put 5.3 liters into the engine right now. So on a lot of cars, you can just kind of see where you're going to fill it up. But in here, it's kind of actually disguised back in here. So if you look here, if you have your 2.4T non-hybrid, I mean, imagine if it's the hybrid, it's the same. Over here, this is where you're going to put your engine oil. All right, so let's get this off of here. And we're just going to put the oil in here very slowly. It's a really small cavity here. You really got to make sure you put it in slowly. So here we got the Mobil 1 0W20. We got 4.73 liters, meaning after we put this in, we're going to be putting in 5.7 liters to get us to our recommended amount. And we'll just put her in there nice and slowly. Pour it from the sides. You won't have any kind of uneasy trickling drips. So we'll just throw this entire thing in here nice and slowly. All right, so now over here we're going to put in 5.7 liters. All right, now that that's all figured out, let's go inside and let's reset the meter that's prompting us for our oil service. All right, so we're just going to click the power button twice, get our accessory power on. You're going to go right down, down, keep going down all the way until you see your settings. Right here, settings. And then you're going to go over. All the way until you see your vehicle settings. You're going to click OK. You're going to hold OK, sorry. Then you're going to go down, all the way down until you see oil maintenance. Then you're going to push OK. And OK, do you want to reset data? Yes, we're going to go up and we're going to reset data. Reset complete. Bingo. All right, folks, so that is it for changing your oil on the 2024 Grand Highlander, just standard gas model, not the hybrid. With a hybrid, I imagine it's going to be very similar, but don't count me on that. So as you can see, it's actually decently easy to change the oil on this. You just have to drop that tray, take out the oil pan plug, let it drain out slowly, swap the oil filter, throw it back together, and refill. Very easy, just like any other car. So it's really nice to be able to service this, even though it is such a new car. And if you actually have experience with this stuff and you're not a total noob like I am, then drop me some tips down below because I would greatly appreciate it. But anyway, folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button for me and subscribe to the channel because it would help out a lot. And we'll see you in the next video, guys. So have a great week and peace.